The hardest thing for a chiropractor to do is to get people through the front door. You know how I know that? Because I'm a chiropractor. Hello everybody, I'm Dr. Jason Hurst and I've been in practice since 2005. And I'm going to show you today how I grew my practice from only 80,000 in collections in a year to 650,000 in collections the very next year. And then I doubled that amount the following year. In fact, I plan to show you the 7 strategic pillars that I used to get there. But before we get into that, here's what I know about you. You're a chiropractor, and all you want to do is to help people get rid of their pain and grow your bottom line. And if your inbox and Facebook newsfeed is anything like mine, then you're getting bombarded every single day by all these wannabe marketing agencies who've been trained at weekend seminars to believe that they're legit ad agencies. And what you may not know is that they've been specifically trained to target chiropractors and promise 30 to 50 qualified leads every single month forever, right? Now, I've literally seen and tried it all when it comes to other marketing methods too. The mailers, the yellow page ads, the image ads in local news publications, the free reports, the newsletters, condition-specific inserts. And yes, even though some of these worked, let's get real with each other for a minute, most of them did fail for us, right? And the number of new patients we see and the income never seems to change. How many of you can relate to this? But what do you really want? You want to get more people through your doors and you want to increase your bottom line. And in just a minute, I'm going to teach you about my 7 strategic pillars, and I put together a free PDF download that I'm going to give you in just a minute. But here's what you probably even tried recently. You've probably tried hiring some of these agencies to come in and do Facebook ads for you, and maybe even got some leads, but they haven't helped grow your bottom line because these new leads just come in for the free stuff without ever being qualified. And when they're done with your free stuff, they move on to the next chiropractor down the street trying to get their free stuff. So maybe even bought a course and tried running these ads on your own, but it's just not working either. Then you realize whenever you're spending time marketing your clinic on your own, now you're spending less time treating patients. So what you need is not just a new marketing plan. You need a product. You need a high-end product. And if you only sold just 2 or 3 of these a month, it could actually double your income. And that's exactly what I did in my practice. So grab a pen and a piece of paper, because I'm going to share with you the 7 strategic pillars that I use to grow my practice from $80,000 to over $1 million. Now, maybe you're saying, Doc, why in the world would you do this? And the reason is, it's because now I've dedicated the next part of my life and career to helping people just like you grow your practice and grow your income the same way that I did. I want to be able to help you transform your financial destiny the same way that others have actually helped me transform mine. But we're going to talk about that in a little bit. So again, grab your pen and paper and let's get into the 7 pillars. All right, here we go. Pillar number 1, you need to identify your market. So if you're still practicing, trying to adjust everybody from the cradle to the grave, most of you are going to struggle for the rest of your career. Some doctors can be successful doing this, but the odds are heavily stacked against you. And in order to be able to sell high-priced programs to your patients, you have to position yourself as the expert at just 1 or 2 specific niches. Otherwise, you're just going to be a jack of all trades, master of none. So you have to make this shift in your thinking or nothing is ever going to change for you. Okay, now pillar number 2 is market and motivate. You must know who your ideal patient is. Otherwise, you have no focus and you're going to be throwing darts blindfolded at your market, hoping that some of them will stick. So what does your ideal patient look like? In a perfect world, what type of patient would you treat? But most importantly, if you want to make more income, what services can you add that'll specifically serve this type of patient better? Now, once you've created the avatar for your ideal patient, now you can get laser focused on marketing to them. And the easiest way to craft a message speaking directly to them is by determining what are their top 3 conversations that they're having with their friends and family about their situation. If you know what the conversations are with these people, then you can reverse engineer the message in your marketing. And then these people will be raising their hand saying that they need your help. Now you need to create the best delivery method. That's either going to be online or offline. All right, pillar number 3, you got to be able to present your niche offer. This is where you're using your crafted message for future prospects to raise their hand and say, yes, I need to go see this doctor. So you also need to minimize the risk for these prospects to come in the office as well, because there are dozens of other chiropractors in your town trying to send them their own messages too. So you need to be able to create an irresistible offer that they can't refuse, that no other chiropractor in town is offering. Okay, here's pillar number 4. You have to deliver a world-class experience. Now that you got them in the door, don't screw it up. Unfortunately, this is where many of you end up getting it all wrong. You need to be able to create an experience with a patient that's better than any other experience they've ever had at any other doctors before. And this begins from the moment they pull up at your front door until the moment that they leave your office. Now, the great news is that it doesn't take much effort to be better than your competition at this, because hardly anybody really works on their personal and social skills to ever master it. What really needs to happen is that every single interaction that your patient has in your office needs to be streamlined so that the patient is never looking around wondering what's next or how long it's going to take for them to even get done with their visit. You also need to be able to explain to them what's going to happen on the next visit so that they know ahead of time exactly what to expect. So delivering a world-class experience begins with the very first visit, but you need to have a system in place with your staff so that the patients always have an amazing experience every visit. All right, pillar number 5, we have to be able to help with finances. Now, this is pretty self-explanatory, but it is one of the most important pillars, because if you don't make the transactional experience of their visit as easy as possible, they're going to fire you as the doctor. Everybody gets angry with insurance and with their co-payments at the doctor's office. It's just the way it is. So you need to determine if you're going to be accepting insurance, if you're going to be letting them use their HSA flex spending accounts, if you're going to be using third-party financing companies to help assist with your patient fees. Bottom line, you got to make it easy. You got to make them happy. Okay, pillar number 6, that's developing the lifetime patient. So we got to create the relationships. So now you got the patient to come in, they've completed the treatment plan. How are you going to help them in the future? So you need to have this plan mapped out before the patient's last visit. Now you can add thousands of dollars to your bottom line every single month if you just learn how to nurture the relationships with your patient long after they've completed their treatment plan. All right, and now for pillar number 7, we have to create the referral machine. So there are 3 types of referrals that we want to get. It's passive, reactive, and orchestrated. Now, the most effective are going to be the orchestrated referrals, but they do take the most time to set up. Ultimately, the most important thing about referrals, you've got to ask for them. Now, you can run your entire practice by referral only if you're willing to ask your patients to send in people that they know so that you can help them too. Now, obviously, there's way more to the 7 strategic pillars than what I've given you today. And years ago, I created a proprietary program and system that I used to take my business from $80,000 in collections to over $1 million in only 2 years. And I want to be able to introduce you to this system absolutely free. So click the button, download the free complete training, and I'm going to see you on the other side to discuss this amazing opportunity.